I know, buying stuff is not going to save the planet, but we do have to buy some stuff to get by. Things like shampoo, toilet paper, moisturizer, period products, and more are necessary for so many of us, so we might as well buy the sustainable option if we have to buy this product regardless. So here are my top 10 eco brands of all time. Brands I have supported for years and are just about perfect in my book. I like to think I have very high standards, so a few brands might not have made the cut because they have very minor critiques for me, but these top 10 are just about perfect. Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all sorts of things zero waste, focusing on free, easy, and fun ways to live low waste and ways that we can all be activists. If I talk a little bit too fast for you, there's a gear icon right down here where you can change the speed of the video to something that better suits you, and I will try to be mindful of my speed today. But without further ado, let's get into it with brand number 1, today's sponsor, GreenFi. Switching your banks is one of the easiest way to live an eco-friendly life. But what makes a banking product like GreenFi eco? Have you ever wondered how banks make their money? Well, they invest your money, and most banks invest your money into fossil fuels since it is the quickest way to make the most money. So we unknowingly are investing in fossil fuels when we use traditional wasteful banks. Not GreenFi though. Deposits are never invested in oil, coal, or natural gas projects. The GreenFi Redwood Fund identifies companies that lead in environmental, social, or governance practices and are positioned for financial growth. So this allows you to do well financially as well without compromising your morals. A win for you can still be a win for the planet. Have you ever wanted an incentive for shopping from eco brands? Well, GreenFi does that too. You can get up to 6% cash back when shopping with some of these top tier eco brands like Thrive Market, Patagonia, and even charging your EV. Cashback rewards are generally credited on the first day of each calendar month. So shop eco and check your statement for those extra funds simply by making the eco choice that you were already making in the first place. So you might as well get that extra reward for something that you were already doing. I get it, not everybody can give up their car, myself included, but you can ease some of that car guilt when you become an A+ GreenFi member. Anytime you refill your car with gas using your GreenFi card, they will offset that carbon for you. Planet Protection offsets the estimated CO2 emissions from driving your vehicle based on purchases at gas stations. Verified carbon offsets are purchased quarterly in aggregate to account for estimated emissions from all Planet Protection subscribers. And I truly thought it couldn't get even better than that, but here we are with still more perks. Before using your GreenFi debit card, you can choose to add the Plant Your Change service, where they will automatically round up your purchase from 1 to 99 cents. It'll be deducted every business day and it will go towards tree planting campaigns. Planting trees and restoring forests are among the best ways to draw down carbon from the atmosphere because they can help mitigate the impacts of climate change and contribute to healthy ecosystems that support wildlife and people. Trees planted by their reforestation partners are not intended to be used as carbon offsets, but are intended to reforest areas and build healthy ecosystems. Of course, eco benefits are one thing, but what about the benefits to you, the customer? Well, here are just a couple of their incredible perks. You can get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit with no extra fees, earn up to 3% APY on savings, no monthly minimum balance requirements, free ATM access at over 55,000 ATMs nationwide, no overdraft fees, FDIC insured, free bill pay, and a fast, free, and secure mobile app. And there is still more where that comes from. So switch your banks today to one that aligns with you morally and ethically, instead of giving traditional banks your hard-earned money to invest in fossil fuels. Let's put our money where our mouths are. Now on to swap number 2, Plain products. Without hesitation, this was the first eco swap that I thought of. I have admired Plain products for years and have used them since the way early days of my zero waste journey, but honestly, it wasn't until I went back to Ohio about a year and a half ago and I visited their warehouse that I was blown away by their sustainable practices. So what makes them so fantastic? Well, they have been this eco from the get-go. So many brands create a product or a service and wait years to ecofy themselves, but Plain product has been eco since day one. From the very start, they've prioritized the planet in terms of materials used, their refill methods, shipping, and more. That's right, I did say refills. If you don't know anything about Plain products, they create bathroom essentials like shampoo, conditioner, lotion, hairspray, face oil, etc., etc. And they do so, all of this in refillable containers. So many other brands out there use aluminum bottles, which is great, don't get me wrong, but Plain products understand that recycling is not the solution, it's rather just a step above the landfill. So they said, no more single use, we're gonna refill our bottles. I also love that they don't just send a thin plastic bag full of a refilled product for you to refill at home, and the pouches are wasted. You ship the bottles back to them for free, and they refill and send the bottles back. Is this perfect? No, but honestly, it's the best refill method that I've seen. Speaking of shipping, they do so in a way that minimizes emissions. They utilize the USPS, the United States Postal Service, because they're already coming to your door every day. And USPS also comes to their warehouse every single day. It is a service that already comes to your door, already comes to their door, so therefore there's no extra driving involved to ship these bottles all around. They also prioritize ingredients that are best for our own health, but also the health of the planet. Nothing that will wash on the drains will cause pollution here. And honestly, their transparency is above all else. This is one of the most honest brands that I have spoken to in email and in person. They are clear on their website, on their bottles, and when I interviewed them. Not gonna lie, I asked them some pretty spicy, pointed questions about their business practices, and they answered them honestly, with integrity, and in stride. They are aware that there is no such thing as perfect, but that doesn't mean that it is an excuse for them to be wasteful. They actively try every single day to be better and let us know along the way way. And they do an annual sustainability report, which I just think is the icing on the cake. Another brand I had zero hesitations about is Reworked by Sav. It is truly one of the most sustainable business practices that I have ever seen. On the same trip to Ohio, I got to meet longtime internet friend Sav, where we went thrifting together and she explained to me more about her business. Sav believes in all things upcycled, turning trash into treasures to include horrific political t-shirts. She always finds a way to make it a piece of wearable art. In a world so full of brand new items and junk, her one-of-a-kind pieces keep stuff out of the landfill, and not only that, but her business is 100% secondhand. 100% down to the thread, and the buttons, and the packaging, and the paper, and of course all of the clothing. Not only the clothing, but all the different pieces that she cuts out from clothing is also thrifted. It's so easy when you're starting a small business to buy aesthetically pleasing packaging and brand new stuff and brand new tags and labels and this and that. And you're gonna see a common thread here with a lot of these businesses that I love down to the core is that they also stand for so many other social justice issues. Reworked by Sav is a one-woman team, and she stands for more than just the planet. I love that Sav understands intersectionality and fights for women's rights, LGBTQ rights, immigrants, and every other marginalized group. It's really quite common to see brands and content creators and small businesses hide this stuff in order to get brand deals and more sales and not lose customers, but Sav is not afraid to stand up for what's right. I should have warned her today. I wear her stuff all the time in my videos. I'm obsessed with her stuff. Every time she drops something cool on Instagram, I'm always there to pick it up. Like, listen, if I'm gonna overconsume one thing, it's gonna be Sav's art. Another favorite of mine is Clean Canteen, and I wish I had more of their products to show off, but I just have this one coffee cup. And that's simply just because I don't need anything else, and their products are so high quality that I haven't had to replace my old one yet. Oh wait, I do have one more water bottle. I actually use it more as a to-go coffee cup for school. I forgot, Dan snagged that for me for free. Like, somebody left it at an event, I think, and they weren't gonna take it. Now, I know that certifications are not the end-all be-all to make a company zero waste or the most eco or things like that, but Clean Canteen goes hard on the certifications. Third-party certifications sure do help prove that these brands put their money where their mouth is. Clean Canteen is 1% for the planet, B Corp, and the climate label certified. This ensures that they are transparent in their eco claims, donate to ecological organizations, and do everything that they can to be as eco-friendly as possible. And while it's important for us to recycle, it is also important for brands to use recycled content in their products and for us to support those brands so that way the entire system of recycling can keep going and going and going. Because if we don't purchase recycled products, there's no reason to recycle in the first place. Not to mention, it's much more eco-friendly to use recycled content as it reduces emissions and saves resources. So Clean Canteen now uses 90% post-consumer recycled steel in 95% of their products. And the coolest thing I think about Clean Canteen is they do not push overconsumption. It is so easy for brands, Pila case, to just push product after product after product even when you don't need anything. Brands like this could so easily sell you a water bottle for running and for biking and for picnics and for work and for school and for hot beverages and for cold beverages. You get the idea. But that is not what Clean Canteen is doing at all. They actually make it so that you can put any lid on any of their bottles. They like to call this a multi-tool instead of a single-use item. And this very clearly shows that they are more focused on the planet and a quality, good product instead of making a quick buck at the expense of the planet. Not only this, but they also offer replacement parts and make repairing your bottles easy and keeping them as functional as the first day you bought them for as long as you possibly can. And of course, they work. I know I only have my 2 bottles, but like, I have nothing but good things to say about them. They keep beverages hot, they keep beverages cold, they are secure, they are extremely durable, and they are the most popular eco water bottle for a reason. Axiology is a brand that I have heard raved about on the internet since my very early days on Instagram, and rightfully so. Here's what makes them so great to me. The bulk of our makeup is in non-recyclable and non-reusable packaging. So Axiology wanted to change that. They sell solely the product in as little paper packaging as they can manage. This means that their packaging is 100% compostable or recyclable and also takes up much less room than bulky plastic packaging, making it lighter and smaller to ship too. And also, like as a personal benefit, this makes it easier to store in your bathroom and this makes it way easier to travel with as well. Not only that, but their packaging is made from recycled paper in partnership with a women's cooperative in Bali. I love that they are not only focusing on the consumer end, but they are focusing on their end as well, the entire supply chain, making this fully eco-friendly. What really drew me to Axiology though was that their products are multi-purpose. It was the ability to only buy a few products and still get a full face of makeup. I'm wearing them now. I've got them on my lips, on my cheeks. I've got a little bit of color around my face. I also have their foundation as like cover up under for my eye bags. Their products are truly multi-use. They call them the lip to lid balmies, meaning that you can use their shades on your eyelids, cheeks, mouth, and as a contour. And as I've said with all these brands so far, the focus on quality products in the environment and the lack of pushing overconsumption really sells me. This tells me that the brand truly cares about the planet and not just making a quick buck, because if they did, they would make a whole bunch more makeup and not target it as a multi-purpose item. They take their ingredients very seriously. They are vegan, cruelty-free, palm oil-free, and natural and clean. And of course, they work. You shouldn't have to compromise the ethics of animals and the planet for your own health and beauty. Their high-quality ingredients work wonders without anybody getting harmed in the process. And as I hinted at, they are very politically involved. As a person of color and woman-owned business, they stand on business when it comes to standing up for marginalized groups and against oppression. I love it when brands are intersectional and care about justice worldwide. Moving into the realm of laundry, I have tested probably over 20 brands of laundry detergent, and this one easily comes out on top. From quality to ingredients to caring about the planet, Meliora comes out on top. Plus, they carry even more household cleaning products instead of just laundry. Now, do I need an entire bucket of laundry detergent? No, but some families might. Their bulk options are cheaper and reduce packaging by 20 times. Because yes, it's important to reduce eco-friendly materials as well. Not to mention these buckets are easily reusable in your own home, or you can even ship them back for them to reuse and ship back out. Not only that, but you can refill your smaller items at home, and they encourage proper recycling. They also sell small refills and paper that you refill your canisters at home with. This further reduces packaging waste and the number of scoops that you would acquire otherwise. Plus, all of their packaging is complete with recycling instructions, reminding you to separate mixed materials and to be sure that you're only recycling empty and clean canisters. They actually work, and the ingredients are great, and they are great for those of us who are migraine sensitive. I love a product that gets my clothes clean without giving me a migraine and without polluting our water in the process. Even their bleach alternative is eco-friendly, which was one of the things that I gave up very quickly when I went zero waste was bleach, so I am very excited to have an eco-friendly alternative. Plus, they are also vegan and cruelty-free, certified Leaping Bunny, B Corporation certified, woman-owned, and I think a few others. They truly care about every single detail. And they are a small business. Again, the third-party certification is not the end-all be-all of a zero-waste brand, but it does show that that brand took the time and money to go through that process, and they are putting their money where their mouths are. Plus, for those of us in the US and in North America, this can greatly reduce our shipping emissions. A brand I was eyeing for literal years but didn't try until 2024 is Sustain Yourself. And honestly, I don't think I'll be going back to any other lip balm anytime soon. Let me grab it now. Oh, I hit my elbow. Oh my gosh, I'm running out. I'm gonna have to get some more soon. If you want to support a small business, let it be this one. The twin founders make everything small batch, made to order practically, in the Twin Cities. Everything is made by hand in small batches to ensure freshness and a lack of ingredient and product waste. And truly, you can tell their products are made with love, care, and the highest quality ingredients. I'm so picky about lip balm. Truly, ask anyone who knows me in my personal life. I can't just use any old lip balm. When I say this is the best eco lip balm I have ever tried, I mean that with my full chest. And of course, we got sustainable packaging as well. Their packaging is extremely mindful to the planet, and they maximize recyclability and reusability as much as possible. Even the stickers on their jars are made out of paper. I love how easy it is to reuse their tins and jars, and I love that they encourage reusing over recycling. Not only this, but they also accept customers' jars and tins to refill in-house and reuse for future orders. And they are mindful about how products arrive on their end and request plastic-free shipments and take the time and effort to recycle any odds and ends correctly in-house. Plus, even on the customer end, when a product gets to me, the shipping materials are also just as eco-friendly. And truly, such high quality, such good products. Their deodorant as well. I am a huge fan of their deodorant too. This lip balm is luscious and hydrating and moisturizing. I only have to apply it like once a day. And I can say the same thing for their deodorant. I was a little bit weary about deodorant paste, like spreading it on with my hand at first, not gonna lie, but this deodorant converted me. I have easily tested over a dozen eco deodorants in my time, and this is easily up at the top. Moving on, I have been testing eco period products since 2021, and this is probably my favorite brand, and that is Salt. First reason I love them is that they are a one-stop shop. They have so many different eco period products. Not only do they have period underwear, discs, and cups, but they also have products for teens, bras, and quizzes to help you find the right product for you. I first heard about them in 2021, and I tried their menstrual cup, which was fine, but I have a pretty low cervix, so I found a disc works best for me. So when I found that they also make discs, I was like, excellent, I am all on board. But even after all that testing of internal period care, I am just really a period underwear fan. And honestly, I didn't expect this prominent menstrual disc company to make period underwear also, but they do. To be honest, they are not the most absorbent brand out there. There are definitely brands that are better for like heavier flows, but they have great styles. They are so comfortable. They are so soft, and they have so many different options. Not only that, but they are also safe. The bar's low, okay? I made a full video about unsafe period products, which ones are safe, which ones are unsafe, what makes them unsafe in this video. And this is ultimately another reason to switch to a disc or a cup, because those have the least contamination of all period products. But what about their period underwear? Yes, they are safe too. They do not use PFAS to treat their period underwear, and they get their products regularly tested and post the results to their blog. My critique here is that I wish they were a little bit easier to find the results on their website, but it is very glad to hear that their underwear are safe for the planet and for our own bodies. And yay, they're a small business. This is ultimately what makes them my #1 period underwear company, because a lot of very popular period underwear brands are secretly owned by mega corporations. And if you're like me and you're on a quest to shop as small as possible to vote with your dollar, you can learn more about that term in this video. Salt is still a founder-owned business and shows that they care more about their products, about their customers, about the planet, instead of profits. And they're also certified. Another brand that makes a commitment beyond just a reusable product, Salt is also committed to giving back and ensuring that their entire supply chain is sustainable and ethical. They are certified B Corp, certified plastic negative, and the certified women's business enterprise. And they also won an award in 2021 for philanthropy. But they do more than just make reusable period care. They ensure that more and more people around the world have access to adequate menstrual products. If you are a reader, you need to try thrift books. Of course, a library is still the most economical and eco-friendly way to read, but if you want to own the books yourself, it's best to shop secondhand. Please support your local bookstore as much as you can, but you can't always find everything locally. First reason I love them, they are a small business. Amazon is taking over the planet, and especially the reading enterprise. It's getting harder and harder to find large book retailers that are not owned by Amazon, and Thrift Books is not. They are still founder-owned, which makes them a brand that I feel good about giving my money to, on top of being eco-friendly. And truly, shopping secondhand is one of the best things that we can do for the planet. We have enough items on the planet already to last several generations, so we might as well be using what has already been created instead of demanding something be created from new. A few reasons to shop secondhand include: it reduces resources being grown, extracted, harvested, and turned into new things. It prevents stuff from ending up in our overflowing landfills, and it's cheaper, and you can learn more about the benefits of thrifting in this video. Now, what sets Thrift Books apart from like any other sort of secondhand bookstore, especially an in-person one, is you can search on their website. Of course, I love going into my local secondhand bookstore and giving them a browse and spending hours upon hours there. Sometimes I don't want to do that. Sometimes I want to find the exact title I'm looking for in an instant. And you can do that in a secondhand way with Thrift Books. You can search by genre, by title, by author, and you can even filter the quality of the book you're looking for, like if you're okay with good condition or if you want pristine condition. You can also create wish lists, ask to be notified when a new book arrives, and you get frequent shopper rewards, and my code also gives you rewards. I think we both get a free book with my link. It's got a pretty good benefit. I don't remember what it is exactly, but you can find all of my links for all of these brands in the blog post down below. And lastly, for today, the queen herself, Stevie from Yay for Earth. Another brand, honestly, she might have been the very first brand I started to follow on Instagram, and I didn't try her until last year. What really won me over was incorporating Palestinian olive oil into her recipes to raise money for Palestinians. Which brings us to reason #1 why I love Stevie. She is not afraid to speak up about any oppression anywhere in the world. She uses her business for good by supporting disadvantaged farmers, raising money for campaigns, and using her platforms of tens of thousands of people to bring awareness to pressing issues. But honestly, why I started following her years ago was the eco-friendly packaging, and also the ingredients, which we'll come back to. Her eco-friendly packaging that is easy to reuse or recycle, and minimal products for sale really drew me in. It means that she specializes in just these few things, and so much love and care goes into them. Not only is her signature lotion packaged in an eco way, but so are her newer products to include eco lip balms packaged in compostable or recyclable paper tubes. And yeah, I already hinted at ingredients. Yay for Earth does not compromise quality. Why are these products so expensive? Because of the quality ingredients and how well they work, and the fact that they last a really long time. I have used her lotion on tattoos, as lip balm, and to heal wounds, and as a general moisturizer. It's so luxurious, leaves my skin hydrated and fresh, and I still have it over a year later. And Yay for Earth focuses on the entire supply chain and not just putting some ingredients in a jar and calling it a day. Stevie knows the farmers that make each of these ingredients. She has been to these farms and she sees how these farmers steward their lands. And this is another teensy-tiny business. Stevie and her small team make everything from scratch by hand and in small batches to ensure freshness and prevent waste. And if you're like me, once again on a quest to shop small businesses, you can't get much smaller than this. There you have it, my top 10 god-tier eco-friendly brands that I rant and rave about consistently. I have nothing but good things to say about these wonderful people and the wonderful brands that they have built themselves. I love that they are all making the world a more sustainable and ethical place. Let us know your god-tier brands down below, and stay tuned for an opposite video, brands that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. And once again, don't forget to check out GreenFi for all of your eco-banking needs. Eco-banks are hard to come by, and while I am not a financial advisor, I cannot recommend GreenFi enough. And if you use my link down below, GreenFi will give you $50 for opening your account. Check out all of the terms down below. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate you supporting me, my work, and all of these eco brands. I will see you in the next video, but until then, remember that your small actions make a big difference in the long run. Bye, guys. I look like a vampire. I need it to be warmer. There we go. Now I have some color to my skin. They also sell the twin founders. That's funny, they live in the Twin Cities.